Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me again. Well, it's back. Okay, we're back to dragging your favorite brands. Big C, honey, big H, big LV, sweetheart. Everyone's getting dragged. In my new dragging series, I'm going to be dragging more brands as well, not just the top three. We're going to include Dior and Gucci, because you know how I feel about Dior and Gucci. I feel like Dior and Gucci are with the big boys, so I feel like it's those five brands. We're going to be doing a wide range of them. I'm really excited about today's stories, and then I'll be answering your questions at the end, those of you who ask me questions on IG and also on YouTube. So we have a lot to go through today. Okay, I am in a dragging mood, so without further ado, let's start. And some of you were like, Kagam, like, will you still do dragging stories after coming back from Paris, or are you like trying to be careful about how you talk about Big H? First of all, I feel like I'm respectful about the stallion. I don't feel like I've said anything crazy about the crazy horse herself. And third of all, people are absolutely mad. Like, I would never say anything crazy about this brand. People are writing these things under their government name. So I'm not going to put them up on the screen. I'm just going to read them, but I will tell you where you can find them, because some of you are like, well, how come I didn't have a bad experience? That person's lying. Let me stop you right there, boo-boo. People are writing this with their government name. The first story, here we go, is from Severin. I'm sorry. I'm not even laughing at this person. I'm just laughing at Big H and their shenanigans. It's from the Severin boutique. The person says, and this was from January, the person says, I spent more than 3,000 euros there and the service is bad. And they put like a sad emoji. Okay, well, first of all, let's talk about this, okay? After going to Severin physically, shopping there myself, and you saw those unboxings, if you haven't, go check out my Haya Glamazon in Paris playlist. Oh, actually, I don't think they're on there. I think they're on my shopping haul playlist. I don't know. It's in one of my playlists. After going there, I have realized that there is so much money swimming around in these boutiques. Like, people are spending phenomenal sums of money shopping in Paris, like from all over the world. Paris brings people from all over the world to shop and spend money. And 3,000 euros is a lot of money, but in a boutique like the Severin boutique, it's a drop in the ocean. Even put the shopping for bags to the side, like the bits and pieces that other people are buying, like the homewares, the fine jewelry, SLGs and stuff like that. People are spending a phenomenal sum of money. I believe you should be treated well, regardless of what you spent. I didn't spend 3K when I went to Severin. I was treated well. So I think it just depends on the day that you go there with these types of things. The situation with Severin is a lot of people have been complaining about this boutique. I went and had a good experience, but that doesn't mean that you're going to go and have a good experience, or this person is going to go and have a good experience. My view on this is, like, I do think that the more you spend, the better you're treated. I do think that that's kind of the case. And I don't necessarily think that's just a Paris thing. I think that's across the board thing. And I think at boutiques like, or brands like Big H, they can, I know this sounds terrible, but they can kind of afford to be like, you're not really spending enough, like whatever. And I think that's kind of harsh, but you know, I do think that they can kind of do that, because the hype around the brand is at fever pitch right now. Like, the hype around this brand is so high, and I'm also kind of aware of the role I play in it, but I genuinely do like their exotic pieces. I love their exotics, so as long as Big H continue to make exotics, I'll be interested in the brand and I will follow up on what they do. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, of course you shouldn't go and be treated badly. You spent 3,000 euros, but I don't think that's how the top dogs or the people who work at Big H think. I think they're like, oh, okay, cool, whatever, you know, let's move on. There'll be someone who'll spend 30,000 euros. There'll be someone who'll spend 50,000 euros. There's, I think on the Paris thread of the Purse Forum, we were talking about this in the group, in my Facebook group, which you should join, by the way. We were talking about it. Someone said they spent 80,000 at one of the Parisian stores, euros, and didn't get a bag offered. I'm thinking, how are you spending 80K and you didn't get a bag offer? So I'm thinking you might be, you know, B-listed without knowing it, but just a thought. Okay, the next story is also from Big S. Okay, that's what I'm gonna call that boutique now. Big S, honey, okay? This person said, this is a long one. Let me just read it, the whole thing out, because it's worth reacting to. She said, "You lost me as a customer." This is a new review, by the way. That one I just said was from January. This one is newish, November. "You lost me as a customer. I always loved this brand, and even this location was a favorite spot to visit and enjoy a beautiful setting and a cup of tea at the little cafe. I think the atmosphere, at the store is hostile and arrogant." Ooh, she's going there with her government name too. "There is more security than salespeople." Huh. Listen, okay, I already told you, okay, how I told you guys that, and one of you was trying to fight me in the comments in one of my videos, like, well, maybe you didn't understand. Let me stop you right there, okay? Listen to what she said here. "Nobody is interested in helping or answering questions. You feel like you're bothering them with your presence." "I'm usually super nice with salespeople and kind to them. They have an extremely stressful job," true. "But here even my niceness was not helpful. They're not even looking at you. After my last visit to the store in Rome," I think she means Big H, Rome. Hold on, she says, "After my last visit, the store in Rome with champagne," okay, I think that's like a typo. Basically, she was in Rome, she was given champagne, and she had friendly conversation with the SA, and she left as she should be, her words, a happily satisfied client. I think the management should rethink their corporate culture and teach the salespeople that they're just representatives of the brand, not the brand makers, and not the one who decide to give or not to give." Listen, this dragging review, by the way, this was left on Google reviews for Big S, the boutique, honey, at Sevra. Okay, a few things. First of all, I am glad to see someone else notice that all 3 Parisian boutiques are absolutely rammed with security guards. I told you, at FSH, the SAs look like security guards. The security guards look like SAs, and you're like, who does what here? Okay. I think this is really interesting here, the tidbit that she says here at the end, like about the SAs and the people who work there. And she says, "They're not the brand makers and they're not the one who decide to give or not to give." That's obviously a very oblique reference to the shenanigans that go on at the boutiques about scoring bags. It's so obvious that that's what she's referring to, who decide to give or not to give. I wonder what that could be. So obviously, you know, it's not good to hear that someone had like a bad experience, particularly when they had a good experience at another boutique, which, by the way, the Rome boutique, I've heard about the Rome boutique. It's competitive. So if she was treated well there, maybe, she, was seen as like a good client and stuff. But again, like I said, and I hate to say it, there are just so many people like who are going to these boutiques, and there's so many people going through. I can't imagine working at any of the 3 Parisian Big H boutiques and remembering people unless they're extremely memorable. And I hate to say it, and it's terrible, but we're all thinking it, so let me say it. And the people who are memorable are going to be the people who are spending a lot of money. And it's terrible. It's terrible. I'm not the one who makes the rules. There's a game that is being played in all of the Big H boutiques worldwide, and this one as well. She says that people aren't interested in answering your questions. I must say, when I went to Sevra is the only boutique I went with Edwin. He didn't come with me to George Sank. He didn't come with me to FSH. I went to those ones alone. Hopefully next time he'll come with me to FSH. I do think that would be nice. But I must say, even for Edwin was like, he liked it there because of the cafe. I think the cafe really kind of creates this quite chilled, relaxed environment. To be honest, there were people who walked into the boutique who didn't mill around and who just made a beeline for the cafe and sat down and ordered things. I'm quite surprised that she wasn't treated well, but I'm willing to bet that this is about appointments and bags, just because at the end she says, who decide to give or not to give. It is what it is. Like, everyone who likes Big H knows this. I've told you before, my interests at Big H are their exotics, primarily. I was looking at some of their fine jewelry bits last week. I can't buy anything from Big H fine jewelry in Paris until I buy things from Cartier, but they've got some really nice icy, full of diamonds. I love I love fine jewelry that's not subtle. Their fine jewelry is full of ice, it's dripping in diamonds. I like it. But definitely like their exotic SLGs and their exotic pieces are like what I like about the brand and what I think is really exciting. And at Sevres, I remember, if you watch my Sevres vlog, I remember specifically seeing like the SLGs, like the ostrich SLGs, like the Constance wallets. I saw croc SLGs and things like that. I can only imagine like how stressful it is if you're shopping there and you don't have a good experience in whichever, I think they call them métiers, like at Big H, in whichever métier that you're interested in shopping from. I can only imagine, like, you know, no one's interested in helping or answering your questions. You feel like you're bothering them. Yeah, I mean, like I said before, the formality of the Big H shopping experience, it can kind of feel like that. I found that when I went there, they kind of, particularly at Sevres, they kind of let you mill around in there for a bit when you're just looking around. Because I remember, you know, walked in, followed up about appointments, was told, oh, you have to apply online, whatever. And then because of the cafe, and I didn't want Edwin to be bored, and I wanted to walk around Sevres, and I wanted to really get a feel for it. I was like, you know, telling Edwin, there's a cafe there. And he's like, great, I'll sit at the cafe and wait for you. He was happy. He was like, I like it here because they've got a nice cafe. You can go do your shopping. I can wait for you. And I was like walking around getting a feel for the place. They do definitely watch you. They're watching you browse. They're watching you. They're watching you. When you really start focusing on something, that's when they'll like approach you. I think in this case, you know, it didn't work out for her. And it sounds like she's actually like a proper Big H shopper in Rome. Her Rome profile history wouldn't have been linked to her experience at Sevres, but it's not right for someone not to be treated well. It's not right at all. I don't know if she was expecting champagne at Sevres. I don't know about that, honey. I think, you know, I think you might need to spend quite a bit, I don't know, because the way people are spending money in Paris, people are as rich as the Olympian gods, honey. Like, there is intense wealth. I mean, I remember when we went to Galerie Lafayette one day, there's like a cafe at the top, and we went there, and my husband was like, Kagem, it's rammed in here with people shopping. Like, where is everyone getting this money? I'm like, that's what I want to know, okay? So what do you guys think of this dragging story? Do you think that she is being too sensitive? Do you think that she was like expecting champagne? And when she says who decide to give or not to give, do you think it's right that Big H gives their SA, they give their SA so much power to decide who can give a bag and who can not get one? What do we think about that? Okay, the next dragging story is also from Sevres. These are all brand new, boo-boo. Okay, I've been out of commission. I haven't done a dragging video in about 6 weeks. So the stories are rammed for all of these brands. So the next one is also Sevres, and it goes as follows. It was my first time going to Big H to purchase, well, Big H, to the Hermes store to purchase. I'm sorry, my dog Cairo is barking. He's going crazy. I don't know what's going on with him. We were traveling and staying in Paris for 3 days. I didn't know you need to have an appointment. Anyway, went to this particular store because a guy from LV sent us there to see this guy. You know where this is going. Oh boy. I was treated like I was robbing the store from the salesperson. The guy was trying to talk to me with the security and management to find out who sent me there. Listen, I mean, just crazy. Come on. Okay, listen. First of all, the way I understood this is this person was shopping at LV, probably mentioned to the LVSA that, oh, we're going to go to Hermes, and maybe the LVSA was trying to be helpful. I was like, well, I know someone who works there. Contact XYZ. That person's an SA there. And of course, I mean, that's not out of the ordinary. I'm sure that LVSAs have friends who work at Big H, friends who work at Chanel, at Gucci, at Dior. And that's clearly what happened. And then that person's excited, thinking that they've got a link, okay, at Big H Sevres. They get there like, I'm here to see this person. And security's like, let me stop you right there, boo-boo, like, okay. And obviously the SA was found, and you know, we have this phrase in my language, Swahili. It's called chunia. It means when you brush someone off. You like, what? I don't know you, boo. Like, why are you coming for me? Like a Tanzanian person would be like, this person was chunia. Like, you know, they were like treated like they were nothing, basically. This is a good example of as asking for essays gone wrong. You know, in the luxury community, if you're members of Facebook groups, you're members of forums on Instagram, people are always saying, hey, can I have like your essay info? Actually, someone did contact me and asked me for the info of the essay I used at the Champs-Elysees, Louis Vuitton. And I was like, are you buying money? Are you spending? Like, if I give you the contact, are you spending? Yes or no? Because if you're not, I'm not going to give you the contact and then I look bad. I think in a situation like this, the person who worked at LV was trying to, help, but obviously gave them the contact of someone at Big H who they know, but that person was not interested because maybe maybe it just wasn't handled right. It's wrong. It's wrong to like make someone feel like they're robbing a store or doing something wrong when it's an innocent mistake. So the person at LV is the wrong person here, not the client. I would be super upset. I told you guys before that my impression of the security situation at Big H is the security is not there to protect the bags, honey. Okay, the bags are in display cases behind glass. They are safe. The Constance was looking at me like, again, guess what? I'm protected by glass, okay? I believe that the security is there to protect the essays because there are lots of people who go there who get really upset, who are really stressed out about trying to score, and it doesn't happen. And I think that's just how it is. So I'd love to know what you think about this one. I think this one's really interesting. I think this is a good example of how asking for essay info or being given essay info isn't a guarantee. For me, if you've noticed with me, I don't ask for essay info in any place that I go. I would rather just kind of work it out on my own. In my case, I don't even really think it's necessary. I think like you could just go there on your own. Many people want to get big H essay info. So much so that on the Paris thread, on the Paris forum, someone actually asked, I think it was quite recently actually, someone actually asked, and I talked about this in the group as well. Someone was like, someone had said that they have an essay at FSH, so they don't have to use appointments. But obviously this is someone who lives in Paris, and that's their essay, and that must have taken years to develop that relationship, okay? And then someone was like, hey, I'd like to buy a Birkin. Can I have your essay contact? Well, how about no? If I lived in Paris and I spent years and years and years cultivating a relationship with an essay, I'm definitely not just gonna like give it out randomly. Like that's not gonna happen. And I think most of us, would agree with that. So yeah, I thought that was just a very interesting story because it's so obvious. Like the way the person here says, because a guy from LV sent us here to see this guy, they were there for 3 days. It's obvious that they had come to Big H to buy a bag and they didn't know that they needed to make an appointment. I do find that hard to believe that you're shopping at Big H, you don't know that you need to, make an appointment. I don't know about that, but it is what it is. Security were like, let me stop you right there, okay? No. Okay, the next dragging story is from your girl, Big C. By the way, why is everyone mad at Big C, like, for using a horse in the Haute Couture show? Big H did not own horses, boo-boo. Horses were running around the planet before 1837. Yes, I said it. Okay, so this is from the 31 Rue Cambon. The person says, trust me, everyone avoid this store at all costs. I've never felt so disrespected and looked down upon in my entire life. My wife and I sadly experienced the unfortunate pleasure of visiting this store. Ooh, you're going there. We stood in line for 30 minutes, which is understandable due to C19. But during our wait, we looked upon the store's recent reviews, and trust me, they're all true, because this is the 31 Rue Cambon boutique only being dragged on Google. When it was finally our turn, our lady named X, I'm not going to say the essay's name, approached us. She looked us up and down with a smug look. You know the essay once over when they're looking to see what you're dressed like, if they can figure out if you've got money to spend or not. She looked us up and down with a smug look, like she was judging us based on our shoes. The same complaint you'll see other customers experiencing. This is facts. We were traveling and wearing walking shoes. She was very rude to us, like we don't know anything about designer fashion, or we can't afford it, even though my wife is a fashion major. Not offering us any products, like she wanted to quickly get rid of us. I will never buy or visit this store again. Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, it's wrong that the person was made to feel like they shouldn't, you know, be there or shouldn't be shopping or anything like that. My kind of view on this though is like, it's not really surprising. Like, a lot of people have been talking about the Cambon store and how the Cambon store does feel really rushed. And unless, and even in the past forum or and Facebook groups, when I read like people talking about the Cambon store, personally, like, there seems like there's like a lot of essay turnover there. Like, even if you get someone's essay contact, like, there can be turnover. And just because you get someone's essay info doesn't really mean anything, you know? These people were obviously there to buy, and they were treated badly, and they were treated like, you know, like their request didn't have any value, and like, you know, like it wasn't important, you know, for them at all, you know, to be, you know, serviced by Chanel. And you know, we can talk about whether we think that's right or wrong. Like, the way I kind of see it is, I'm not surprised by this, because after now being in Paris, I definitely noticed that like Big H, Big C are definitely much more formal in the shopping culture of Big H and Big C is way more formal, in my opinion, than Louis Vuitton, Gucci. Louis Vuitton, in my opinion, was still formal, but there was a relaxed energy and vibe to it. It wasn't, and by the way, I like formal shopping stuff. I'm not against that. But I do think at Big H and Big C, it really does feel it really feels very buttoned up. And I think that can be a little bit like much for some people. And, you know, you definitely do get that like essay once over there for sure. They look at you to see what you're wearing. Like, the days when I was wearing nicer clothing, I was treated better. And remember when I told you I did my experiment when I went to Big H, George Sank, I was carrying the Louis Vuitton shopping bag. That's when I was like, you know, they were like laser beam, like focusing on me, because they're really looking at what you're dressed and what shopping bags you're carrying and all of that. So anyway, I'd love to know what you think of those dragging stories. The dragging stories are back. What do we think about them? Which brands would you like me to drag next? And which locations would you like me to talk about next as well? Let me know. Make sure you keep watching, because now I'm going to answer your questions. Okay, so I asked you guys, ask me questions on YouTube and Instagram, and you did. So let's have a nice chatty part now. The first question is from Little Lux Treasures. She says, I noticed a slight change in your vocabulary, but maybe I'm wrong. I thought you used to say that the Dauphine was your favorite bag, and this video you very carefully stated it's your favorite bag at LV. What has become your favorite, and did Paris change your mind? Thanks again, can't wait for your next video. Thank you. I'm waiting for your video. By the way, Little Lux Treasures is an amazing YouTuber in her own right, so I'm waiting for your video. Okay, waiting. Okay, great question. First of all, you're right. You're eagle-eyed. I did say that, and I was specific to say the Dauphine is my favorite bag at Louis Vuitton. You're spot on. I love the Dauphine. I love it even more after having seen it. I feel like I was just like, I said I didn't get an appointment at Hermes, but I'm definitely gonna buy it this year, and it's on my wish list. What's become my favorite? I don't feel like I have a favorite handbag, but I feel like Paris just made me think like, wow, there's so much choice out there. But it's hard for me. The Dauphine is like top 5. You know, when I think of like top 5 handbags like of all time, I think of like bags like the Himalayan Kelly. I think of like the Capucine from Louis Vuitton, and definitely the Dauphine is there. The Dauphine is a non-leather handbag that's 2,700 euros. But it's truly beautiful in real life. You're definitely right. I was careful to state that it's my favorite bag at Louis Vuitton. But I think how I feel about bags now is I like different bags at different places. I wouldn't say I have a favorite handbag, and I definitely wouldn't say that any Hermes bag has replaced the Dauphine. Nothing can really replace the Dauphine, because the Dauphine means a lot to me, because it's the reason why I started this channel, and I love everything. I actually think the Dauphine is almost the perfectly constructed handbag. The accordion style, the reverse monogram that Gasquet did. When I get the bag, I'll bore you guys to tears about the history of the original Dauphine, okay? So don't worry about that, okay? Because that one's gonna come. But yeah, you're right. I definitely did kind of make a little bit of a change in terms of the way I talk about the bag. So you're spot on about that. I'm amazed that you like noticed that. I didn't think anyone would pick up on that, and you did. So I think that's really interesting. Okay, the next question. Oh, it's from Holly. Okay, so Holly, you were asking me on Instagram about luxury skincare. First of all, I love skincare. I love high-end luxury skincare. Who wants me to talk about it? Because I'm always reading about skincare. I'm always doing things to my own skin as well. Okay. Look, people are tough on La Mer, but I like La Mer serums. Unpopular opinion. I like them. Some of you say like going to dermatologists and getting like retinol and things like that. I actually just like sticking with luxury skincare, but I like getting facials. I like doing like massages on my skin with obviously clean fingers. I've just like touched my face there now. But I like doing things like that. So I like massaging my own skin. I like looking at different parts of my face to see like the texture of my skin, like where I think it can be improved. And I do like luxury skincare. I know some people say it's like a waste of money. I don't think it's a waste of money if it works for you. I'm going to say this now. I told you guys in the group, if you're a member of the group, I already said, one of the best skincare products ever is this face polisher by Origins called Never a Dull Moment. I get nothing from promoting this, okay? I'm not being given a check by Origins. I wish they would call me and cut me a check, okay? But go get that. Thank me later, okay? If you want to look amazing with amazing skin, go get that thing, okay? Go get it. I would say that's one like, is Origins like a luxury skincare brand? I don't know. I feel like it kind of is a little bit because it's quite pricey, but that's like one of my favorites. Another thing that I like doing in terms of like luxury skincare, which maybe isn't necessarily luxury, is I do, like I said, I do make an effort to go to like get facials, and I definitely like take that very seriously as well, because I find that that has like a better impact on me. It's a little bit different here because I live in a country that's very sunny. So like if you live in a sunny country, you know, some people are like, okay, the sun obviously has an effect on your skin, there's no doubt about that, but I do think like you have access to like really high quality food, like high quality fruits and vegetables and water and things like that. So I would say that luxury skincare to me is amazing. I like this serum from La Mer. If you're interested, ask me in the comments, I'll tell you the name if you're interested, because I'll have to get like the full name, and which just has escaped me now for a second. I would like to try La Prairie. Some people say it doesn't work, some people say it does work, so I'll give it a crack. I don't mind giving things a go when it pertains to skincare, because skincare is very personal, but I'm telling you now, use that Origins face polisher. Thank me later, okay? And when you're looking like that girl, okay, you'll be like, Gab told me to buy this and I bought it, okay? There's not an affiliate link or anything, so tell me what you think about that one. The next question is from the Bag Geek. Would it still be a good idea to start your H journey this year? Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And actually, I feel like my H journey has already begun, because just got back from Paris. I went shopping at FSH, bought something, shopped at Several, bought stuff, shopped at George Sank, bought stuff. So yeah, I think my journey has begun. I've got purchase history in all 3 stores. I'm going to go back again, hopefully, you know, in April. By the time it's my birthday, I hope I would have already been there again. And I think my situation is quite unique on YouTube, because there are very few people that I have seen who are in my situation, meaning you live in a country with no boutique, you live in a continent with no boutique, so you have to get quite creative about how to score if you want to buy at retail. I'm not interested in buying resale. It's not that big of a deal to me. Like, it's not that big of a deal to me. Like, I like Big H, and Big H is fantastic, but I'm not going to buy things at resale. I hope you're not offended if you buy at resale. It's just something I'm not willing to do, particularly for the exotic pieces. So for example, I monitor the prices of Big H's exotics because I like understanding the way exotics are priced. Exotics don't really do well at resale for 2 reasons. Number one, anyone who likes exotics at Big H will never buy a brand new exotic piece, because you can go to the boutique and pretty much go one-to-one. You'll probably get your bag, unless you're in a very competitive location where people are purchasing them. But I think for me, like, just for me, like, I just don't want to buy resale. So yeah, I would say that my journey's already started, as far as I'm concerned. Just because I don't have a bag doesn't mean it hasn't started. I feel like it started. I think it needs to be continued. I also have like a new strategy, but it's private, that I'm not sharing yet. But I have like a backup plan in case Paris doesn't work out. I do have a backup plan. I think for someone like me, like I have to just be more deliberate about my big H shopping experiences. Like it requires planning. So like even like a few days ago, everyone asked me, said, well, when's the next time you want to go shopping at Big H? Like, when's the next time you'd like to go shopping there? And I was like, well, do you know what? I'd love to go, you know, for my birthday, but I can definitely do like online shopping through a personal shopper. That's not a big deal. But in terms of like the bags, like the, you know, the 3-quarter bags, exotic SLGs, the mini Ruly. If you're a member of the Facebook group, I've told you guys that I'm interested in getting a mini Ruly in Croc. The mini Ruly should be a walk-in bag in any part of the world. I shouldn't have to play games in order to score a mini Ruly in any leather. I think it comes in Evercolor, in Ostrich, in Croc, whatever. So for me, my journey has started. I am on the journey. Hopefully it's not going to be like the Iliad by Homer and be a very long journey, okay? And hopefully it's not going to be like, I'm not going to be like Odysseus, okay, in the Odyssey. I hope not. Or Aeneas in the Aeneid by Virgil. You see where I'm going with all these classic mentions when it pertains to Hermes. Okay, so yeah, that's how I feel about that. The next question is also from the Bag Geek. Thoughts on Big H inventory this year because of the supply chain and all of that. I think that the inventory situation should be a little bit more relaxed by March and February. Definitely for North America, those of you in the US and Canada, things should have calmed down by then. But I also think that some of this is Big H just using this to like, you know, kind of up the ante in terms of game playing. We were talking about this in the group as well, like about, you know, the situation with spend and one-to-one and all of this. I think that inventory, they will figure it out for the US and the Canadian markets. It should be sorted out by February, March, who knows? But they're a publicly traded company. They have shareholders to answer to, and I don't feel like I'm going to be in trouble with people at Big H for saying that. You know, people do have questions about the supply chain, but things should calm down, you know. And I think, you know, on social media, we started to see bags. We're seeing people being offered bags. So it seems like things are calming down a little bit. The next question is from Holly. She says, who do you want to take over Louis Vuitton men's? Look, I love Ye. I love his music. I love the Jesus stuff. That's fantastic. I don't want him to be the artistic director of Louis Vuitton menswear. Okay? I would like to see Jerry Lorenzo from Fear of God. I think Jerry Lorenzo is the right person for a few reasons. First of all, I think he is like, that is kind of just sticking to what's the status quo in terms of Virgil and all the things that Virgil has built. I wouldn't want to see everything Virgil has done for menswear like being kind of dismantled and having a new vision of menswear. His vision for menswear is what it sells commercially for Louis Vuitton. Whether you like it or not isn't the issue. We're talking about what sells. I'd like to see Jerry Lorenzo. I think he's very talented. Fear of God is an incredibly successful brand in its own right. Why not him? He could carry on doing Fear of God the same way Virgil was doing Off-White, and he can do Louis Vuitton too. I think he's the right person. I heard people talk about J.W. Anderson. I don't feel like J.W. Anderson is like, his aesthetic is like the Louis Vuitton menswear aesthetic. That's just my opinion, you know, but that's not to say that he's not talented and, you know, brilliant, because he is, but I'd like to see Jerry Lorenzo. I think he's the right person for the job. And I think it might even be him. You never know. Let's see what happens. The next question is from TCDNYC. Do you love the iridescent medium classics in 22p? As you know, I don't really like classic flaps. If I had to get a classic, it would be original, unique ones like those iridescent ones. I do think that they're cute. Everyone's obsessed with the 18S emerald green. Everyone keeps talking about that. I think that green is a bit overhyped. I do think the iridescent green is quite nice. They're nice. They're nice. I like them. You know how I feel about classics? I think the classics I really liked were the ones in 21K, those cloudy ones, the seasonal ones. Those are probably my favorite classics. I've never seen classics like that I've liked as much, but the iridescent ones are nice. Like them. The next question is from Guitar God 341. What's on your wish list? I have so much on my wish list for this year, so I'm going to do wish list videos. Those will be coming soon. I think I'll just put this out there, put this into the universe, and hopefully God is listening and it'll be God's plan. I would love to get like a Louis Vuitton exotic piece this year. I would love to get an Hermes exotic piece this year, and I would love to get like a beautiful Cartier grail piece, either my watch or a love bracelet. That's on my holy grail list. I'm just putting those three things out so that, you know, God hears it, and hopefully that will happen. Renan, the next question. Renan asked me, what's your biggest luxury regret? Wow. My biggest luxury regret. Oh my gosh. Okay, so a few years ago when I started like one of my businesses, I spent like a ton of money like hiring this really expensive interior designer, and it was like luxury interiors for the office, and everything was like this really high-end like luxury furniture for me and my team. And I don't know, it just kind of seemed, at the time, it seemed like I just kind of like overspent and spent like tens of thousands of dollars on like really high-end luxury interiors. But I feel like I could have gotten a similar finish without like paying that interior designer so much money. I think that's probably my biggest luxury regret. It's not a luxury fashion regret, but it's a luxury interiors regret. And even though it's like from a commercial part, I was really excited about the idea of having my office and it being like really, really high spec. But I don't know, I just wasn't really that happy with the finished product, and I felt like I settled and pretended I was happy. The next question is from Fit Foodie Teach. Will the luxury secondhand market burst, including, will the luxury market burst, including secondhand? I mean, it has to. It's a bubble. We're in a bubble. This is a great question, by the way. We're in a bubble. I mean, it is a bubble. I don't know how else can you see it? Like, we live in a time where a Kelly 25 ostrich cellier bag, okay, is $47,000 US. That is not realistic. That is a bubble. I don't care what anyone says. All of you, Kagam, you don't understand. They're investments. Luxury bags aren't investments. Guys, stop. It is a bubble. It's going to burst. I don't want to be part of anything bursting, but it's definitely a bubble and it's not sustainable. Is it bursting this year? No. Is it going to burst for certain brands like Big H? Yes, but we don't know when that will be. The luxury resale market, though, is here to stay. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's here to stay. But I think in any business, you have times when your business matures and the market matures and things mature. The luxury resale market hasn't matured yet, and when things mature, they calm down. You'll see those prices go down. You'll see the kind of fever pitch around reselling kind of go down a bit, and then things will be at an even kind of pace, and it'll be like a lake that doesn't have any ripples. We're not there yet because the market hasn't burst yet, but it will, because it's not sustainable the way things are going at the moment. Big C is selling £40,000 special edition trunks with 3 Minaudières in it. If that is not a sign of a bubble, by the way, none of that stuff's made from leather. If that is not the sign of a bubble, I don't know what is. So yeah, it's definitely going to burst. You know, I'm not, you know, I don't have a crystal ball, you know, to say when it's going to happen, but I definitely think it's going to happen. But those of you who like luxury resale, don't stop being like, again, you don't like luxury resale, that's why you're saying that. I don't have anything against luxury resale. I think it's completely fine. I told you, I look at the resale market to see how exotics are being priced because I find it interesting. But even for the non-exotic pieces, I mean, I think the other day I was on Fashion File looking at the US dollar price for a Birkin 30 in Cray. Someone was selling their Cray Birkin 30. It's $30,000. I mean, I'm sorry. You might as well take that. Go one-to-one in your local store and you probably won't even spend that much and you'll get your bag, you know. So there's a bubble. We're in a bubble. It's going to burst at some point. We don't know when that could be. It could be a few years from now. But those of you who are playing the luxury resale game, Godspeed. I want you to be very rich and have lots of money and tell me about all the money you have, okay? But just be careful. I do think that there is a bubble. But the luxury resale market is obviously here to stay for good. People love reselling their goods. People love buying pre-loved. Many people you know, love the idea of just buying it and not playing games or shenanigans, because frankly at Big H you have to play games. Big C are creating their game. Louis Vuitton, it's not a guarantee you can walk into any Louis Vuitton boutique and be like, hey, I'd like to buy an Alma. Where's the Alma BB and Campus, boo-boo? It's not on the shelf. All of these brands are creating their own kind of game. So I think that they are those things. So those are some really interesting questions. Thank you for asking me those. We should do those like once a week because they're very interesting. When I saw them, I was like, whoa, there's so many like fascinating, vibrant questions that were asked, and they really made me think. Just before I go, I wanted to leave you guys with a thought. Love to know what you think. Do you think that those of us who like luxury, do you think that we're judged harshly compared to people who have other big hobbies, like people who collect coins or people who collect art? Do you think that we're judged more harshly than people who have other very expensive hobbies? I'd love to know what you think. If you like these videos and you enjoy them, please consider liking, giving a thumbs up. All the algorithms have changed, by the way, at the moment, like at the beginning of the year. The YouTube algorithm is harder and harder now for my videos to be seen. So I'd really like, if you like this video, subscribe to my channel. Follow me on all of my socials, my Instagram page, okay, my Facebook page. Go drop some likes on my Facebook page as well, and go join the Facebook group. It's fire, okay? It's absolutely popping in there, and I'm so grateful for each and every one. By the way, those of you who are members of the group, can you vouch for the group in the comments and be like, hey, I'm a member of the group, it's lit, so that people join. It'd be so great to see you. And don't forget, you can also go read my blog if you want to read things. I love reading things. I don't want to just sit listening to someone talk all day, and God bless you if you're still listening to me. So yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's been supporting me on this fun YouTube journey. Lots of great videos coming. I'm back now to 3 videos a week. So I have another video coming on Saturday because now I'm back full-time at work. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on Saturday in my next video.